Mike, great to have you here. Last time I saw you, I think, was in Myrtle Beach when our film was premiering, and it was great to have you out there. Look, I just want to get your take on the events, maybe the 2 weeks leading up to the election, how you were feeling. I think we were all pretty tense. The day itself, obviously the win, and how you've been feeling since. Can you walk me through that kind of, what probably maybe the most emotional period of your life? I don't know. What was it like for you?
That's absolutely right. I mean, it was a total roller coaster. Everyone saw the numbers. Everyone saw Trump was up big. But there was a big open question about whether or not, and I think this was not alone to America. I think many people all around the world were wondering, are they going to let Trump win? And I think the size of the victory, I do really believe that it was, in the end, too big to rig. We are still seeing, there are still votes being counted in Pennsylvania and in California. And there's now rumblings that they have clawed back the popular vote victory. This is one of these dynamics here in the U.S., which is that we have this electoral college system, which reflects the various states' sort of aggregate input. It's sort of rounded to give smaller states a larger say so that they don't get isolated by these big sort of dense metropolitan areas. And one of the arguments that was made in 2020 by high-level officials from the blob was that even if Trump were to win the election on election day, if he were to lose the popular vote, that they could organize street riots and protests and do a sort of color revolution style pro-democracy shutdown of the country, shut down the highways, block the federal buildings, invade the police precincts, all in the name of mostly peaceful protests because the people's will is not being represented by the popular vote. That was planned to be sort of carried out in tandem with a legal attack on the electoral college system itself. We saw an attempt to sort of gerrymander that in 2024. In the weeks leading up to the election, there was a flurry of New York Times, Washington Post articles. Even the dean of Berkeley Law School came out and said that the Constitution is a threat to democracy, that it needs to be thrown in a paper shredder or some sort of incinerator because this electoral college allows Trump to win and Trump is a threat to democracy. But then lo and behold, on election day, Trump not only wins a 300 point electoral college blowout, he also wins the popular vote by 5 million votes. So what are the protester signs going to say? It's I think that right now they are regrouping, but I think that the avenue to block Trump from inauguration that I was concerned about has been mostly alleviated by just the sheer too big to win, too big to rig size of the win.
Yeah, I spoke to Jim Rickards about some of the games they could play in early January, labeling him as the insurrectionist and potentially, not making valid some of these electoral votes, and obviously the pushback. And then there is some action going on in Pennsylvania right now. I know they're still contesting, I think, a Senate seat, and they're talking about how to qualify certain mail-in votes and whether they're disqualified if they're not dated. And it still seems like some fun and games are going on out there. Is that something we should still be concerned about?
Well, you still have to be concerned about it because it still influences what ends up happening in the House and the Senate. The fact is their fallback plan, shy of something tragic happening to the president, is to effectively neuter his administration through having a inside resistance through the Senate, through the House, through the courts, and through outside media and civil society pressure. And the more that our Congress is stacked in favor of President Trump, the harder it's going to be to block the Trump agenda. And so they're fighting for every House seat, they're fighting for every Senate seat. And that's how you're seeing this drag on for so long. As you mentioned, in Bucks County, they've self-declared that they're counting illegal votes. It's just unbelievable. But the fact is because of the size of the blowout, they're desperate to pad as much of their own cronies in there as possible by hook or by crook.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club. so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.